right, ladies and gentlemen, we just concluded episode number 333, and I'm joined by Tommy. I call him Tommy. Tommy's Trainwreck of the Week. He does that on every single Thursday. Now, Tommy, we haven't even, I don't even think, put out a full bio. It doesn't matter. The dude is a baller. He's well-connected. He's been in business for a long time. He's a lifelong trader from the commodities exchange. He was, if you don't know who he was at the foot of the World Trade Center towers on 9/11. He actually still has, from the dust that he ingested, still has the 9/11 cough. So he's a friend of the Pete Santilli Show, also a contributor on a weekly basis, and a very well-connected, very humorous individual. But he just came to us with some serious stuff that I need to release in a breaking news report. We need to get this information out to as many people as possible. You need to share this information. It's critical. It's important. Why? Because Tommy doesn't just have second or third tier information. Okay, when he hears of information that you're about to be exposed to, you need to just remember it. Okay, put it in your left breast pocket. Now, Tommy, on a very serious note, we were talking about beer. We were having a good time in that final segment, but I wanted to do this breaking news report. Tell us what you heard, who you heard it from, and it was actually bone chilling. Go ahead and repeat it.
Yep. Well, I'm not bragging, but I have to tell you in this way so you understand the gravity of it. It's my partner out in California was having dinner with a customer who's a billionaire, and one of his buddies is a prominent politician. Now, they didn't want to tell me the name, but if I pushed them, they would have told me the name. And I said, don't tell me the name. I'll probably say it. So you don't want to know. So bottom line was this. He told them in the next 6 months that there's going to be a cyber attack. And whether it's a false flag or not, I would say if he knows it, it's a false flag. And they're going to use that excuse. He also said, keep plenty of cash around. And make sure you keep your computers off because you could lose all your banking information. And this coincides with any kind of dollar. If you look at the outside world and you look back in, how are they going to correct this whole ridiculousness with the money and the dollar? Well, what they could do is they can have a bank holiday. So you can have a cyber attack. You can wake up Monday morning. They've already tested this with MF Global because John Corzine stole $1 billion and nobody put him in jail. So that was the test market. So nobody did anything. So that means you can steal about a third. So that's about what they took out of all the segregated accounts. Now, your bank account is basically a segregated account because you're Chase Manhattan, Merrill Lynch, Wachovia, Bank of America. They're all basically giant hedge funds, and they use your money to trade. So when they have this bank holiday, you're going to come in and everything's going to be shut down. Nothing's going to work. And then all of a sudden, things will turn on a couple of days later, and you'll be probably shy 30-40% of whatever is in the bank.
Can you
imagine? They're just going to say it disappeared. And what they're going to do then is they'll probably hand you treasuries and replace them with treasuries. So you're going to help fund the government, and you're just going to get a bunch of worthless crap back for your dollars that went out the window.
Wow. Wow. Do you understand the implications of what you just said? I'm not over sensationalizing this because I have talked about.
I've heard the rumors of this, the stories, but how it would be done is exactly what I just said. But whether somebody would actually come out, like if a politician is going to say something like that to, dude, you better wake up.
Yeah.
Seriously, wake up, because that means the cat's out of the bag already. Now, he could have just been talking and saying, well, I'm thinking the Iranians are going to attack. Well, who knows, but whatever.
You know what? What better way to blame a banking collapse? Okay.
Well, it's the only way to do it.
What better way to take the heat off of Wall Street?
They already did it. And they know they got away with it, so they'll take all the heat off. They'll make us pay for it because God forbid they just say, okay, all the interest we're just gonna wash it away.
Dude, it's the ultimate flash crash. It's the ultimate flash crash.
Yeah, exactly.
Instantaneously, they can wipe out 30-40% of everyone's wealth. How many?
I think that's the idea.
How many stupid people do you think are out there? And I mean stupid people. These are the people that I've protected as a consumer advocate because they just don't have the wherewithal. They don't understand. They trust their government. They trust the real estate agents. They trust the appraisers. They trust the banking industry so much.
These are the same idiots that voted for all these morons that are in there right now doing this to you. So it's not like you don't need to get your guns and start shooting everybody. Next time you get your vote, you got to use your friggin' brain.
Yeah.
You know, this is what happened when Romney ran. And all the people, you know, all the Republicans with money, the guys with brains said, dude, I can't vote for this guy. And I'm certainly not voting for Obama. So he got in, but they kept probably the worst of the two evils out.
Okay. You cannot, and I'm going to emphasize this point as we close out this breaking news report, okay? This actually came up literally within the last 30 seconds of the episode. I actually am now printing, I'm going to put this up in a breaking news report because of the connections that this gentleman, Tommy, from Tommy's Trainwreck of the Week, he's very well connected. If you could tell us, how long were you a trader on the commodities exchange?
About 25 years.
25 years. Have you dealt with millions and billions of dollars yourself?
Not billions, millions.
Millions, right? Hundreds of millions, maybe? As far as funds and stuff like that, I mean,
I've traded ridiculous amounts of crude oil.
Crude oil, okay. So,
yeah, you know, in the
sure,
pretty big numbers.
So, I mean,
trade a lot of stocks.
Essentially,
the whole internet bubble.
Essentially connected to the players that would have access to this information that they shared with you. Now, they said keep your computer off.
Yeah, because, you know, the virus can only get in when your computer's on. So if they're gonna stick a virus in there in the next month that could do something in 4 months from now, it'll happen because you leave your computer on at night. So, you know, just, you know, if you're not using it, just turn the thing off.
Wow. That is the implications of that, ladies and gentlemen, are phenomenal. Why? Because if you don't have an exact accounting of what you had in your account, if you don't have a printout bank statement that shows what your deposits were for that particular day, you're going to be shortchanged. There's no doubt about it. They won't be handing out extra money just to cover your potential losses, will they, Tommy?
No, because that expired on December 31st. That extra insurance that came out after the 2008 crash, that's gone.
Yeah. So the implications that we're talking about are...
And the FDIC, they
yeah, ladies and gentlemen, there's a group of individuals called the elite. Okay, they're the insiders, and they don't want to take the heat for basically this Ponzi scheme, which is now collapsing. They cannot. As a matter of fact, the eugenicists, okay, are the ones that are basically eradicating the extra 6.5 billion people on the population that their Ponzi scheme cannot support. Now, will we all look at them when they shut the banking system down and say, let's storm the Bastille, let's get these guys out? We sure will. What better way for them to take the heat off than to blame it on terrorism or Anonymous?
Well, they got this whole thing all set up already. They have the NDAA.
Yeah.
Right. They have the other confiscation act where they can Obama can confiscate all your assets, your farmlands, your gasoline, whatever he wants. He can grab your cars.
Yeah.
All that's ready to go. Yeah. He's got, 1.4 billion bullets coming in. Mm-hmm. He's got basically the Nazi brown coats. They're all a bunch. They're specifically hired with low IQ, so they follow orders. They don't even take an oath. And then they're going to hand him 7,000 assault rifles. Mm-hmm. I mean, really, sometimes you got to wake the fuck up here.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to pass this breaking news report on to Suzanne Posel. She's an investigative journalist who's already reported on the cyber attack that she's been warning all of us on, that they're going to steal money from our accounts. That one was published on December 15, 2012. It's titled, "Be Warned, False Flag Cyber Attack Planned on Banks Will Steal Your Money."
But you got to take it down to a level that people can understand, because like you could talk. I mean, I could take things into levels that you couldn't even understand what I'm talking about. But to take it down to like just meat and potatoes, just go look at the contract or your bank statement, and you just read the fine print. It'll say right in there that they can use your money to trade.
Yeah,
it says it right in there. Your
right.
funds are not separate. That's right. When they got rid of that Glass-Steagall Act, dude, they knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah,
it's balls to the walls.
And that you basically assume the risk by depositing your money with them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, like, cash is a bad word. Like in the old days, if you used a credit card, you were poor. I mean, what the hell are you using a credit card for? Everybody used cash, right? Then they started making cash look like, well, if you use cash, you're poor. You look like a drug dealer because you use cash.
If not a terrorist. Yeah, you're a terrorist.
They twisted the whole thing around.
Yeah.
I mean, a kid with a debit card, you'd be like, dude, what a schwug,
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this special breaking news report. You're listening to Pete Santilli. I'm the host of the Pete Santilli Show each and every day at 11 a.m. Pacific time. You can tune in. Go to the PeteSantilliShow.com. Join us in the chat room. Join us every single Thursday. Tommy's Trainwreck of the Week. Tommy joins us. He's a commodities trader, very well-connected business person, and living near boats he's retired in a retirement community out there in Florida. So thanks a lot, Tommy, for giving us that update. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you on the Pete Santilli Show 6 days a week. Okay, so here's the deal. I mean, we have some additional commentary on top of it was about a 10-minute breaking news report. And I made a comment because it was in my heart. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you something. Flat out. You need to get your money out of the freaking bank. Why am I telling you this? This is what I've already done. The IRS can't get my stuff. They can't. I mean, they'd have to, seize all my stuff, but, whatever's left as far as burning cinders, who cares? But anyways, they cannot get my stuff. I have sheltered everything. They can't get my cash because it's all hidden. So I've protected myself because these guys are outright criminals. They've stolen trillions of dollars in broad daylight, and the American public has let them do it because we never thought that they would actually do what we're doing, what they're doing. Now, what they're doing is they are setting it up. What better way to take the heat off of the guys with the suits and ties than to blame it on a bunch of terrorists? They can actually pay a bunch of hackers in secret to just go ahead and do this thing and blame it on, Iranian terrorists, cyber warriors out of China. They can put the blame on the collapse of a system on another entity, when in fact they're the ones that are going to finance this. I believe you need to get your money out of the bank right now because they can never take that from you at the time that the collapse takes place, right? Susanna, I say not never, but what better way to say this is how much money I have than to have it in your hands?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and we've had several people warning us for, months now, and months. Suzanne Posel was one of them.
Right.
And she's got great articles out there. People need to go back into her archives and they need to be reading. She breaks it down very well, exactly what's going to happen. And so now we have someone else saying from a pretty good source that this is going to happen. And people need to pay attention and take care of their money. If you don't, you won't be able to get it.
Also, I want to convey to you that Tom, he does Tom's Trainwreck of the Week. It's a special segment that we do on the Pete Santilli Show each and every Thursday at the top of the show. Tom is we're not even going to put his bio out there. He's a friend of the show. He's been a longtime listener. He's been a contributor. He talks about the very serious issues. He was involved with 9/11, and he even told us here on the show that he did not have as good of a sense of humor prior to 9/11. He said, but they've tried to kill me on multiple occasions. He said, I want to live the rest of my life each and every day, living with laughter, drinking a beer, right? Enjoying his retirement and really enjoying himself. But this is a man who has been very, very well connected to people that move money around the world. So I would take this information that he has relayed very seriously. If you would like to interview Tom from the Pete Santilli Show, please contact me. Send me an email to pete@thepetesantillishow.com, and we will convey this information to your listening audience if you have a talk show or your organization. However, we need to get this information out to the general public. You need to protect your money. You need to tell everyone you know to get their money out of the bank. It's very, very important we do that. I think it's the most responsible thing that I can do as a fellow U.S. citizen, is to tell people to protect themselves. This is coming. Okay, we already know this. If it's not by a false flag, we already know the collapse. We're right in the middle of it. They're trying to just basically be in damage control to find out who they can put the blame on.
Mm-hmm.
This has been done by well-educated people on Wall Street with suits and ties who you've known to know, like, and trust, and pay tens of millions of dollars. These are the criminals, the true terrorists on the face of the planet, and they're getting ready to steal 30-40% of our wealth in one stroke of the keys on their keyboard.
Yes.
Okay. I'm Pete Santilli, once again, host of the Pete Santilli Show, each and every day, broadcasting 6 days a week on the Guerrilla Media Network at 11 a.m. Pacific time, broadcasting for 3 hours, coast to coast, worldwide. We have listeners worldwide. It's one of the fastest growing shows on the face of the planet. This is the truth. I'm very humble to that fact because people are starved for information, and that's what we provide. Thank you. Have a good day.